Thank you.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday, November 5th, 2025 Recreation and Parks Commission for the City of Richmond, California. And we are coming to order at 6:04 p.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. If there's anyone who has been involved with attending our commission meetings from many years ago, we have something relatively new because this commission has been in existence for a long time. But during the past, I believe it has been, what was it, maybe 4 years ago, we added a land acknowledgement. And it goes as forwards. We humbly acknowledge that we sit within the unceded traditional ancestral homelands of the Chochenyo and Ohlone people, who have occupied and cared for this land since a distant prior to the founding of the city of Richmond, prior to California's statement, and for centuries before the establishment of the United States. As the Recreation and Parks Commission, we strive to steward the land in a way that honors its past, present, and future inhabitants, and take seriously the responsibility of its continued care. Okay. Our mission statement. The mission of this commission is to advise the City Council and city staff to provide excellent parks and recreation facilities, to preserve open space, and to provide programs that enrich, educate, and serve the needs of the diversity of the residents in Richmond. So, Madam Maharaj, may I have a roll call?
Yes, thank you. Chair Smith,
Present.
Commissioner Torres,
Present.
Commissioner Hulbert,
Present?
Commissioner.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Mignon,
Present.
Commissioner Warren.
Present.
Okay,
Thank you.
wonderful. All accounted for and present. We have a quorum, and just a slight suggestion. Phonetic spelling can be helpful because apparently our commissioner knows how to pronounce their name, but others may have a little bit of a tongue twist.
I got you.
Yeah. Oh, but that's not for you. That's for them to write it down.
Just pretend you're holding in a sneeze. That's all you gotta do.
Oh, goodness. Okay. We'll try that offline. All right. So, just want to handle our welcome and our meeting procedures. Individuals who would like to address the Recreation and Parks Commission on relevant matters not listed on the agenda or on department reports for information items not pulled for discussion may do so under open forum. Individuals in the audience may speak for 2 minutes as follows. For items not on the agenda, the staff will recognize each speaker for open forum. For agenda items, staff will call on each speaker after the item is introduced. Please complete a speaker card and provide to city staff. Just a reminder, we will do our best So we ask that you follow suit. All communication during this meeting is conducted with courtesy and respect, and all speakers will be advised when their time is up and will be asked to politely end their time. Okay. All right, so the order in which items will be heard may be adjusted by commission vote at this time. In addition, items may be removed from or placed on the consent calendar at this time. Individual items may be removed from the department reports for information for discussion, explanation, or continuance to a future meeting. In addition, the order in which the items will be heard may be adjusted at this time. So, does any commissioner have a question, comment, request regarding our agenda for today?
I make a motion to accept the agenda as is.
Okay, well, we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, thank you. So it's been moved and second. Is there any discussion? Going once, twice? Hearing no discussion. All in favor, please signify by stating aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, we move forward with our agenda. Okay, so individuals who would like to address the commission on matters not on the agenda may do so during open forum for 2 minutes per speaker. Do we have any speakers?
Yes, Madam Chair, we have Cordell Hindler and Gary Hulbert.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Mr. Hindler.
Hello there, Chair Smith, commissioners. For the record, I am Cordell Henley, and I have some wonderful news to share with you all. But first, I would like to welcome the new commissioners. It has been a long time, over a year without a quorum. I'm like, I can't. This is too much. So I would like to welcome this new group. So that being said, I do have some updates to share with you all. So last Thursday, I did attend the youth council meeting, and I have trying to encourage them to fill the last 3 remaining seats on this commission, because they go to the parks too, and they need to get their perspective. So I will be talking with them later this month on the 20th. So I'm trying to present this to City Council on one of their agendas, so because we need to have some more youth on this commission. Then the second thing is everyone is invited to the Contra Costa Mayor's Conference on December the 4th, hosted by the City of Pinole at their senior center, 6:30. But you must, I repeat, you must RSVP ahead so they can count how many people will be in attendance. And it's $70 per person, and that includes dinner and drinks. So I have not seen what their menu looks like, but I know it's going to be wonderful, except for the holidays. So that being said, I will give Gary the rest of my time.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Cordell.
Good evening, Mr. Herbert.
Good evening, Commissioners, and I gave you a brief update last time. I talked fast this time, but I wanted to come back and give you some great news. I am the president of the Richmond Tennis Association, and we've just finished the fall season with the United States Tennis Association. We have actually 9 teams in Richmond that actually play there, 8 of them adults and one youth team. And out of those 9 teams, 7 have just made the playoffs in their respective league. They're each in their respective league. We've never had that happen. It's a great time, so really glad to say that. And also, our junior team also finished as well, first in their league, so they're going to go on as well. So this is the first time we've had youth teams doing this. It's very split up very well. 3 women's teams and 3 men's teams actually made it. So we didn't actually plan it that way, but it was that happened that way. We are putting on a press release to the newspapers and the city council, and we'll also have a copy to you as well. Just announcing, some more the good news. The bad news is, which my friends over here are very aware of, vandalism is still a real problem for us. You know, we've gotten great lights here for the last 5 years, and we've actually had vandals come in and just cut the wires to the lights. And this time of year now daylight savings time, it wasn't so bad before, but now it's not good at all. We've got four of them, or 8 of them are back on, there's 2 that are still out. And so, when that happens, it takes quite a bit of time to get them working. And we've had, you know, people trying to, you know, cutting wires, breaking into the tennis courts too. So I really appreciate all the work and the partnership that we have with Jason and Alex. You know, they certainly understand the vandalism problem is just really distressing, because this was not about was not about stealing copper, which we've had problems with before. It was just people cutting wires and cutting them such it was difficult to put them back together. So it's something we live with, and it's
Time's up.
unfortunate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for that update. Congratulations on the good. And
Yes.
hopefully we can work on those challenges. It doesn't make sense. Why would people just cut a wire? I mean, are they?
What? No,
No,
they
they're not-
didn't
not-
even take the
no.
copper.
It's-
They just cut it.
Yeah.
For
I think sometimes they'll cut them to be able to try to splice them together, like charge phones or other electrical devices.
Oh, 'cause I was about to say, it's like if you don't have any insulation, you can shock yourself really nicely.
I think that happened at Nickel Park. A couple years ago, they had broken into one of the light poles at Nickel Park to do exactly what Alex said. And I think someone commented their dog got electrocuted because they're like puddles on the ground, and they would walk by and they were like, "Zzz," you know. So people are tampering with our electrical.
Goodness. All right, well, glad we're back and active again. So announcements from the chair. Our next regularly scheduled Recreation and Parks Commission meeting is Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. We currently have $413.08 in the commission trust account. And our newest membership change is welcoming Commissioner Jan Mignon, appointed on October 7, 2025. Okay, now I hope folks got a chance to review the minutes. Does anyone have any questions, comments, corrections on our minutes from the October 8th meeting?
I make a motion to accept the minutes as is.
Okay, so noted. We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. It's been properly moved and duly seconded. Is there any discussion? And for those who may not be aware, the reason why we do motions and seconds is because you don't just vote on something without giving an opportunity for speaking about it. And if there is no one speaking, we move along. If someone does have something to say, this is the appropriate time to do it. Okay. Not hearing anything. All those in favor of approving the October minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Do we have an abstention?
Yes, I abstained since I wasn't here.
Okay. Thank you very much. Please note that Commissioner Mignon, did I get it right? Oh, okay, yeah, so, all right.
Lots of different ways, so nothing hurts anymore.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Moving on. Okay, we have our department reports. Looks like Public Works is up first. Are we prepared?
Yes.
Ready to go?
Yes, we are.
All right, wonderful.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. For the record, my name is Jason Lacey, and I serve as the Parks and Landscape Superintendent for the City of Richmond. This evening, I'm joined with Mr. Alex White. He's our Park Supervisor who oversees the daily field operations for the General Fund Parks section. Tonight, I'm providing an update on behalf of the Parks and Landscape Division, beginning with a brief overview of our department structure, staffing, and current capacity. Over the last year, our division has made significant progress in rebuilding leadership and strengthening our operational capacity. I joined the city earlier this year as a park superintendent, overseeing the city's park operations, maintenance programs, and long-term planning efforts. Alex White, our park supervisor, joined the team in January of 2025, so a month before I did, and currently oversees the general fund, park section, and daily field operations. Darren Fitzpatrick, our Assistant Deputy Director of Public Works, who's not able to join us tonight, he joined in the spring also of this year. His position is helping align the programs across the Public Works divisions and provide key support for parks infrastructure and maintenance initiatives.
Pardon me, Mr. Lacey, do we have a slide for that?
No,
No.
we don't have slides, so Jason will be providing a verbal update about the operation.
Okay. Appreciate that. I'm just really used to the org chart. So, but
Understood. And so yes, I apologize. We're a little bit ill-prepared. This was new. We're kind of caught. We didn't know if we were going to have a meeting or not, to be quite honest. So in future, absolutely, we will make sure that we get all of our information onto the slide deck and present it to you visually.
see, look at you. You even know the newfangled terms for it. All right.
Okay, so continuing on, at present, the division has several key vacancies. These include 2 park supervisors, 2 tree trimmer positions, a tree lead worker, and a parks construction and maintenance worker. We're actively recruiting to fill these roles, which are essential to restore our full operational coverage across the parks and landscaping spaces throughout the city. These positions are needed to continue to strengthen the stability of our division and our long-term capacity. I'd like to take a moment to share where we stand with the Richmond Parks Master Plan and provide an update on several park improvement projects moving forward across the city. So this that you see here, I know you want visuals. That is very, very confusing at best. So what I did was I pulled out. I pulled out the active, if you will, so the active projects, and I'll give you updates on that. So Borman Park revitalization, it's in the construction phase. Completion expected of summer of 26. Shields Reed Park field renovation is in the construction phase, expected summer of 26. Shields Reed Park revitalization is expected winter of 2025, like very soon. That will be completed. Wendell Park is in renovation is in the construction phase, and that is expected to be completed in summer of 26. In addition to these parks projects, we continue to coordinate closely with our engineering and transportation divisions on key streetscape and connectivity improvements that directly support the Parks Master Plan. 13th Street Complete project is in the bid and award phase. Yellow Brick Road was completed earlier this spring. Neighborhood Complete Streets project is in design. Together, these projects reflect the city's continued investment in creating public spaces that are safe, accessible, and welcoming for our Richmond residents. At this point, I'd like to turn the report over to Alex, who will provide an update on our daily operations, recent park improvements, and the field work being completed.
All right. Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you, Jason. I'm pleased to share a few highlights from the Parks Department as we continue strengthening our operations and building a more efficient, reliable, and inviting park system for our community. Over the past several months, we've made significant operational improvements supported by investments in equipment, structure, and planning. We've added 2 new mowers, 4 new trucks, and we have a new Bobcat, small tractor. Will be up and running within the next week, week and a half. With the new mowers, our teams can cover more ground in less time. The additional trucks give us flexibility to respond faster to maintenance needs across the city. We've also implemented defined mowing patterns and regular schedules across the city parks. This change ensures consistency, improves the visual quality of our parks, and help us track and measure performance. At the same time, we're tackling deferred maintenance that has built up over the years. This includes repairing infrastructure, restoring equipment, and addressing areas that need attention to return them to proper working condition. By addressing these issues now, we're setting up our teams and our parks for more efficient operations in the long term. We've also implementing a seasonal task program to bring more structure and predictability to our work throughout the year. Each season now has defined priorities that align with the natural cycles of park maintenance. So spring focuses on weed management, sports field prep, and preparing park landscapes for the event season. Summer is about keeping our parks green and healthy, maintaining irrigation, and supporting high visitor use. Fall becomes leaf season with crews focused on cleanup and preparation for winter weather. Winter is our tree season when we prioritize pruning, removals, and larger landscape projects. As part of our commitment to safety and quality, we've continued our work on creating clear sightlines throughout our parks, removing overgrown areas, trimming vegetation, eliminating lurk and hide zones. These changes improve safety, visibility, and the overall sense of openness, making our parks more welcoming for families and visitors. We've been focusing on the foundation of our operations, cleaning and organizing the park's yard to improve efficiency, safety, and communication. We place a renewed emphasis on training and staff development. Our goal is to make sure employees have the skills, knowledge, and confidence to do the work safely, effectively, and consistently. From equipment operation to maintenance standards and safety procedures, we're investing in training that supports professional growth and strengthens the department as a whole. All of these efforts connect back to the 5 pillars of our department. Every park should be safe, where residents can feel at ease and secure, clean, reflecting pride in our community spaces, operational, with reliable systems, schedules, and equipment in place, well-maintained through proactive and consistent care, inviting, open, welcoming, and ready for the community to enjoy. Our department continues to move through a foundational change, one that emphasizes planning, accountability, and organization. We're not just reacting to problems, we're building systems and routines that allow us to stay ahead of them. By standardizing how we work, from mowing patterns to seasonal task schedules, we're improving both the quality and efficiency of park operations citywide. In closing, I want to emphasize that these efforts represent more than just new equipment or reorganized spaces. They're part of a foundational shift towards a safer, cleaner, and more inviting park system. We're setting the stage for a long-term success, building a structure that will allow our teams to deliver consistently high-quality work for the community. Thank you for your time and your continued support as we move this department and our parks forward.
Thank you, Alex. As Alex mentioned, our division has identified 5 core pillars. They guide how we operate and we serve the community. These pillars are now actively integrated into our daily environment and help to shape our decisions we make in maintaining.
Wonderful. I have one, but I'll hold. Commissioner Hurlbert?
I heard that there are 2 lights going up in front of the plunge pool, and I wondered how that came to be. I'm neither in favor or opposed. I just am curious why 2 lights in front of the plunge at this particular time. Did we initiate that, or did the utility company initiate that?
Commissioner, we'll have to seek that answer. We'll have to reach out to our electrical section, and we'll report back to you with that information.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Okay, Commissioner Mignon.
Do you have an arborist, certified arborist on staff? Yeah, for many years, I know we did not. And I live in the north and east, which has probably 100-year-old trees, and we've had a lot of trees removed because people have said, oh, they're damaging our foundation, they're doing this, and that's not what's happening. But yeah, having an arborist is very important. And it also, when you're dealing with street trees, people get very upset that, because I've seen it happen where they cut a tree so it looks like it had a really bad haircut. And people get upset when trees look like that. And it was one of those things. So knowing that we have an arborist makes me very happy. And and the deferred maintenance, you speaking of that over and over and over again, if we can get the entire city to repeat that over and over again, we'll be doing very well. So I appreciate what you've done. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. All right, so I think I heard you say we have 2 supervisory vacancies?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Just wondering how we support, and I mean, I know you're new, okay, but what do they have written down to support and encourage our staff to, I don't know, work out a class, learn how to do certain things so that they can be in position to promote, or at least to put their name in the hat, instead of always getting folks from the outside. No big, no offense to you. It's just many times when you have staff that are working earnestly, they usually will know how to do it, but they may not have had an opportunity to show that they can do it. So does it look promising that we may have some internal folk who want to apply?
Yeah, so we actually we're in the process, pretty far in the process of filling those positions. So Alex touched on it, and so building divisional capacity, operating capacity. Alex and I are fairly new, Darren's new, and so we did inherit, and I don't want to point fingers or anything, but we had a lot of work, that we had to step in and roll up our sleeves and really be active in. And so we're identifying a lot of our programming that we have, and part of our programming is that succession planning, is that development of our staff. So absolutely, promote within, yes. There's one hard piece that's hard to quantify a lot of times in our world of public works, and it's institutional knowledge. I don't think like you can't buy that, right? There's no book in production that our staff knows about every park and every valve and every location about our parks because they've been here doing it. And so we absolutely support upward mobility. We do have programming within our structure that, for instance, Alex has 3 lead workers. All of them, they have the opportunity that when Alex is off, they can become acting supervisor. And then throughout the chain, so the construction and parks maintenance worker can then act in their role. And so there are opportunities that come up when someone goes on an extended vacation, extended leave, that they do get to actively fill in that role. And it's not like they're on probation. It's like almost a freebie. They get to go in that capacity, learn in that capacity, and it's temporary, right? And so it's really their learning capacity isn't under pressure of I have to make probation or anything like that. So that structure is amazing. I very much support training, skill set. Landscaping is one of those weird ones. We're not plumbers, we're not electricians, we're not carpenters. It's half science and half artist, right? And so there's so much to learn. Sorry, in the landscaping world, and so supporting our staff to be in those positions, so when leadership roles do come up, that they're absolutely prepared.
That's encouraging. Thank you. Okay, Commissioner Hurlbut.
Could I just ask that you email this park master plan checklist to us so we can read it? Because it looks great, but I can't read a word because it's too tiny. So I'm sorry for being old, but it beats the alternative.
It does. And so again, if it pleases the chair, I can send you our active pieces that will remove the stagnant ones. If that would please you, I'll send you our updated list that we actually have traction on, that we're either in design, build, or construction. Would that be good, or do you guys want the whole entire list?
I'm pretty new here too. I'd like to see the old list of completed projects as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I was about to say, because we have various levels of experience here, it's good to see, okay, this is where it was, and this is how we got to where we are. Hopefully, that's reasonably easy to put together. I do understand that it can be time-consuming, but thank you for your efforts. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right, Commissioner Torres?
Thank you so much for the update. I am grateful that you two have stepped up. I know coming into kind of a difficult employment and a difficult situation where there's so much that's been left behind, a lot of things that just got dropped. I thank you for stepping up. I appreciate your professionalism, and it sounds like y'all are really motivated, and we're here to support you. I am a little bit more familiar with the issues that happened with the MLK field, namely the delays with the repairs. I was hoping we could have an explanation for all of us here on the commission to explain why it took 2 months for the repairs. And then maybe if you've already identified ways to speed up the process, or if there's other solutions so that, namely the issue being that MLK Turf Field is the only all-weather field we have in town. And so the alternatives for our youth programs, and even for adult programs, there aren't many. And so we had to play there. So if you could provide us with an update of what happened, and hopefully sounds like you guys are all on top of it already. But if you could explain how in the future we could maybe address it more quickly, or what's being done to make sure that we improve upon the next time something like that happens.
Sure. I'll address it a little bit, maybe from the higher level perspective, and then Alex can share on the details, if you will. So each city has its procurement processes, which are almost always tied into the code or its development, its charter, whichever it is. And so we have those processes here. And those processes are with procurement, with securing services and contracts. And it has to do with public contracting, transparency, and there's amounts of financial thresholds that once an activity crosses a threshold, it triggers more activity, if you will. And so that was the scenario that we experienced. When Alex got here, I think he came up with a scope of work. That scope of work triggered another process where we had to do competitive bids. That process would have doubled the time that it took, so we refined it back, focused on the area that was highly damaged, and then we took another run at it. And that it's really, in this situation, we weren't experienced enough here in Richmond with the system that it slowed it down for us. It stalled it out. being, taking that frustrating situation and turning it into a positive, a learning experience for us and my section in our division. The key for us is forecasting need. Like we know, that is our one all-weather turf field, but we know that it has potential for need of maintenance and repair. So our learning lesson that we have now is we need to forecast the opportunity for us to put out an RFP or have on-call companies and get all that work ahead of time. So when there's a need, we pick up the phone and we have already worked the details through of insurance and business licenses and everything else is in place. And so that's where we're capacity building, putting out RFPs. We're doing it for procurement of our bark and our soil, our irrigation part. So we're actively pursuing those pieces to get them in place. Same thing with our, the equipment that we use on our play structures. I hope that explains it well enough. And Alex will fill in a little bit more of the details.
Yeah, so the process started back actually in February. It was kind of one of the first things I initiated when I got here. When it got moved, it ran into some insurance issues with the company that we were going through. And so it stalled out there and it fell through the cracks is basically what happened. So when it finally started gaining momentum again, we had to go through the process of kind of reestablishing the quote that they provided for us. And part of that also came with new faces and being able to kind of understand and get everybody moving forward in the same direction to get everything fixed. So one of the issues with that field is that there was no maintenance plan with it. Currently, or in the past, it wasn't routinely maintained. So Jason alluded to this. The idea is the focus is going to be having an on-call contractor to be able to service potentially on a quarterly basis. And any major repairs, we can be able to call them up. And it's also implementing our own internal maintenance of the fields as well. So we do have equipment, we do have infill, and we do have the ability to purchase the turf glue. So the idea going forward is to start implementing that so that field can hold up a little bit longer, and you don't have to run into all the liabilities that were there.
Thank you. I think, I've reached out to staff, and so I am familiar with it. I just wanted to get everyone caught up. Again, I understand the bureaucracy. I understand these processes. And it sounds like I said in the beginning, it sounds like y'all are on top of it, and y'all have already identified how to make this smoother in the future. So thank you.
Yeah, I've got to say, we do have a pretty wide variety of landscapes around, so it takes a little something. But forgive me, I haven't been by that park for a little bit. Do we have specific signing or signage so that folks know what equipment is and is not acceptable on our turf?
Yeah, so all our parks have park rule signs, and specifically for the turf fields, indicates, realistically, you're not supposed to bring anything other than water onto those turf fields. You walk out there, there's gum and candy and all sorts of stuff out there.
Okay. Maybe you would know, Commissioner Torres, would the choice of athletic equipment also have possible impact on it?
Yeah, I actually spoke to some city staff about this last week. it's believed that the dragging of the goals, so there are some sections of the field where the turf was literally like sliced. And that's not like normal wear and tear, but we believe or suspected that by dragging the goals, because the community will move the big goals around, and sometimes it might be one kid dragging around this like 60, 80-pound piece of aluminum, and they'll have edges, and that the edges may have like clipped into the turf and actually sliced it up. So it could be that the actual equipment on the field is an issue, and I think it was resolved by chaining up the goals, right? I think that's what was done, something like that. They chained up the goals so that they can't be dragged across the field. So some of the equipment itself may have been partially responsible, but aside from, are you talking about like non-permitted equipment, like bicycles or something?
Oh goodness, that wasn't even, I wasn't really thinking about bicycles, but it's good to note that. I know that there's lots of different footwear. There's, folks having various type of tread on wagons, and some are like sleds instead. So I just was making sure that we're doing what we need to do as the city to ensure that folks understand this is not going to work on this particular lot. So,
I mean, there are signs, and even during the field closure, there were signs that said, "Don't use the field," and people were on the field. So, people, without someone being there to shoo people away, people are going to be on there. I was also surprised the lights were on. I think it would have helped to have turned off the lights on the days that the field was closed to deter people from using the field. But, I mean, the track is still usable, so I understand why the lights were on. But yeah, I mean, there's signs, and at least when there's permitted users, there's a lot of efforts for people not to damage the field. Don't bring that here. Don't ride your bike on the field. But there's only so much that can be done.
yeah, we may have to noodle that a little bit, but thank you. Thank you for being responsive and taking care of it the best you can, and giving us really clear explanation, because most of us have a juggle much of the parks and the rec areas and the like. So, yeah. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you so much. Looking forward to hearing from you all again. All right, looks like we have our community services recreation report from Madam Maharaj.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Commission members. My name is Ranjana Maharaj, Deputy Director for Community Services Recreation. Since we have new members, I will continue to remind you how to say my name and what I represent for our division. So welcome aboard for the new members. And I know the last meeting was a special meeting, but this is our official meeting, so welcome again. What you see on your screen is a picture of the floating pumpkin event at the plunge. And it always turns out to be a very interesting event. We get a lot of interest. I think I stopped by at the plunge, and there was a lot of people in the pool with their children trying to capture. They were trying to see if they could carry out a couple of pumpkins, but they're only supposed to take one out because the pumpkins are big. But it's a very beautiful event, and everybody had a good time. Just seeing the laughter and the joy of all the parents and kids who were in the water, it was great. So this is a staff, who helped make the event successful. I believe we have more pictures on that. if you haven't, for the new commissioners, if you have not subscribed to our recreation newsletter, that's how you will get our information of our upcoming activities. So please check that out. We will also send out you a link so you can sign up. And so on the same day that the floating pumpkin event was held, we held the fall festival. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a rainy day. We had big plans for for it to have in Nickel Park, but we had to move it inside the recreation complex building in the social hall. And it turned out to be a nice event because, we had tabling inside, so kids and parents were coming inside, but we had little animals outside under the awning. And this is showing just a couple of pictures of some animals. There was face painting, so it turned out to be a beautiful event as well. Oh, here is some more pictures of the floating pumpkin. So here's the stats. 70 children and their families walked away with pumpkins and photos. They had a photo booth outside, even though it was raining. And aquatic staff had a great time overseeing the parents. It was a beautiful event. So if you happen to be able to go by next year, even if it's like spring egg hunt or floating egg hunt, floating pumpkin event, it's great to watch. On aquatic side, continuing, we have lifeguard boot camp coming up. This doesn't happen year round, but it goes through certain times of the year so that we can help recruit more lifeguards. And we also try to train lifeguards. There are certain criteria they have to meet before they can be onboarded. So this is an opportunity for those who are able to swim somewhat, and we guide them through. And then to some degree, and then we allow them to practice and then build their skills. And so it's a long process. It's not like you get the boot camp and you get hired. You still have to develop your skills and swim, because we want to make sure you're able to save a life and be able to swim. And I do have to tell you, we were really hurting for lifeguards, and we allowed a lot of people to go through the employment and training stipend process to apply for lifeguards. And there were quite a lot of applications who wanted, it came for lifeguards, but they didn't know how to swim. So we had to reject them. So yes, that was, and I'm like, we are seeing all these applications. And then you hear from staff like, oh, they said they don't know how to swim. So we turn those away. They have to go and, learn how to swim. Moving on, so we have 2 interesting events coming up in December, which is senior winter balls for the new commissioners. If you're not familiar, this is something that we work with the Commission on Aging on. And we've continued to support them to host their event. And this is one beautiful event that you would like to attend. And it is, it's $50 per person, or you could buy a table of 8 for $400. And the tickets are currently available out of the registration office. And then we also have the Snowball Scholarship event. This event is, if you can see at the top, this is the 73rd event. And for the new commissioner's sake, we used to really host a formal dance for middle school and high schoolers, and they would come dressed in like they're going to a ball. And so we did all of that, but the pandemic stopped that, and then we just are not at capacity to bring it back to that level. It requires a lot of staff time, and we don't have that many staff. So we switched it to making it into a scholarship event, and it's still the same process of selecting the candidates who apply for the scholarship. They have to go through a process, and there are dates listed here. We will open the application, which is an online application, on November 17th, and then on December 20th, we will conduct the interviews. So it's a very interesting process where candidates have to not only submit something in writing as far as what they're doing leadership-wise, but they also go through an interview process. They have to showcase a talent. So somewhat like a pageant, but to a smaller degree. So it's very interesting. And then we host in collaboration with the Hurlbut Foundation, we, what is it called? Benevolent? I'm sorry, what is the name of the foundation? Hurlbut Benevolent Foundation. So we work with the foundation to host the reception, and the scholarship is provided by the Hurlbut Benevolent Foundation. Sorry, it's a tongue twister for me. So our staff support that, and the money, the donation, the scholarship comes from this foundation.
Quick question. How do we promote this?
We do need your help going into the schools to provide, to see if they're interested candidates. So what would you like us to do to work with you in helping us pass this information onwards to students? So is there ways that you could help us get into the schools? Because right now, I believe the school does not allow us to go like we used to do, to go in and present. So it has to be by way of flyers. So we need your help in making connections.
Okay, I can bridge that. I got contacts with a couple of them, and if anyone is interested in doing volunteer, getting themselves certified to actually go in and to present, if that is something that they will be amenable to, we can do that as well.
Let me know, and we can give you flyers. And then also links, like we have a QR code on, I mean, this flyer is condensed so you can see it, but there is a code on there. So and candidates can click on that and go on and apply when it opens on the 17th. And if there are questions, you can always reach out to Kimberlyn, who is in charge of this particular event. So her phone number is on this flyer as well. You can also reach out to me if you have questions.
Okay, and I heard you mention the foundation is addressing the fiscal end, but is there, and if say there's somebody who's got, I don't know, an extra $500,000 burning a hole in their bank account, can they participate?
Could I jump in here for a moment?
Sure.
Actually, we expected every resident of Richmond, the greater Richmond area, to participate in giving donations that would help this scholarship fund. We have, the Hurlbut Foundation has always agreed to start the donations off to make sure that some scholarships would always be given. However, we always encouraged everyone in the greater Richmond area to make donations to our HBF website, where the Snowball Scholarship donations can be given at any moment in time all year long. And I really would like that to be mentioned to people that own every business in Richmond, as well as every parent of a child who might be wanting to accept one of these scholarship funds. So if we could somehow have a volunteer group that could make those calls to make everyone in Richmond aware that if they just gave $1, we would have over $100,000 rather than the paltry funds that Hurlbut Foundation has for this scholarship this year. So I would really like to see on the city manager's report a recommendation that people make donations to the Snowball Scholarship Fund by simply writing or getting on the HBF website. It's called hurlbutfoundation.org, and go to Snowball and make a donation. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving along.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so this month we have a tree lighting event, which is happening on November 19th at 5:30 in the Richmond Auditorium lobby. Hopefully, you guys will be able to attend and come in and celebrate the event. I think staff have tried to put together some additional events, activities for during that night. I don't have all the information, but this is a little bit different from other years. So please do stop by. It's just an hour. It's not too long, we are collaborating on this with the Neighbor to Neighbor grant. I don't know if you're aware of that, but the city did receive that grant from the governor's office. And this was to make connections with our neighbors, and we have staff in our office who have worked so hard to provide funding for neighborhood councils to make connections with their neighbors. So they are also supporting us during this event. And then in December, there's another event that we are bringing for our community, which is a snow day, even though it doesn't snow in Richmond for the last couple of years. Sometimes you see frost, but not like real snow. But I haven't seen that kind of snow, but we do bring in a lot of snow, so kids do have a lot of fun in Richmond. And so it could be on December 22nd or 23rd. We have 2 dates there only because we don't know what the weather will look like. And so we try to float a few days in there. And that's the week we are holding the winter camp for the kids. And that's the perfect time for us to take our kids onto the park. And last year I heard there was a lot of people attending. So I look forward to an even bigger crowd this year. So those are some of the highlights. The one event that's missing here, and I kind of didn't realize that, is the Candy Cane basketball tournament. Is happening on the 13th and the 14th as well. So we'll send that information to you. It's coming up in December as well. So this is the youth basketball tournaments, and this happens at the Richmond Recreation Complex gym as well as BTA. So those are some highlights of our events, and we'll continue to update you with more events as they come up. That's the end of my report. Any questions?
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Oh, just wanted to jump in as well that the City of Richmond's Winter Futsal League, the Youth Futsal League, registrations are open now. So about the Youth Futsal League, it is teams register, not individuals. So if you know of any youth who are interested in playing, they need to find a team, and city staff will usually work to find, hey, we have an 8-year-old girl. Does anybody need, is there a team that needs an 8-year-old girl player or whatever? The registration closes December 5th. Is that right?
I'm not sure. We were in a hurry to put this PowerPoint together, and so our staff who generally does this is not in the office, so I was not able to connect with her. So unfortunately, I didn't have the rest of the information included within this PowerPoint. So I can find that out and make sure I can send that out to you when I get back to the office tomorrow.
I do think it's December 5th, just because I've been spreading the word about it. I really enjoy the league. I like that we have something structured for kids over the winter season, and it is at Rec Complex MBTA. Indoor soccer is a lot of fun. So I just wanted to shout that out too, that registration's closing before the next time we meet again before then. But December 5th is around the corner.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the update.
All right, great information. Appreciate that. So, oh, we do not have a presentation today, but that looks like a fun contraption. Goodness. All right, we do have ad hoc committees, but not certain where we are with them at this point. So, do we have a report out for sustainability and climate responsiveness?
Nope, we have not met.
Oh,
No updates.
all right, okay. The Youth and Associate Commissioners initiatives, we have not had an official meeting, but we are reaching out. So,
We thought we had one.
yeah.
We thought we had one, and they decided to be a lifeguard rather than a commissioner. Because the lifeguards got paid and the commissioners didn't.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that logic.
Yeah. Okay, parks amenities list update.
I did send out, I requested everyone's input on what park groups they might want to support. And we got a positive response from all of the new commissioners, and 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 so they've picked their areas that they're going to be responsible for. However, we have a couple of areas that are not yet covered because we don't have enough commissioners. So the vacant areas are the North Richmond Ball Field, Shields Reed, Belding, Elm Street, Lucas Park, Nevin Park, Sheridan Point, and Solano Play Lot. Also, everything on the Greenway. So, and if anyone's interested in which commissioner is responsible for which park groups, I have that outlined and can send it out to anyone on request.
Perhaps we just get it to Christine, and she can do it in a way that mitigates our chances of violating the Brown Act. But thank you for that information. All right, and here we go. This is the part that I'm sure many of us have been anticipating with bated breath. Our election of officers for our Recreation and Parks Commission. And I will hand the initial part over to Commissioner Hurlbut because she has been our nomination captain. So go for it.
Okay. We have commissioners who are overwhelmingly willing to do everything for the commission. So first of all, thank you to all the commissioners for their input on what they will do. There are a couple of roles that have been specifically identified. There are only two people who have agreed to be chair. And there is one commissioner who has agreed to be the treasurer only. All the other commissioners have agreed to do whatever is requested of them. So if you would like to take it one position at a time, I suggest we start with the two people who have agreed to run for chair of the Rec and Parks Commission. They are Samantha and Jan.
Okay, so we have two people who either nominated themselves or were nominated and have accepted that nomination. Okay. Because we already have a couple there, I mean, if anybody at the last minute is thinking that they want to throw their hat in the ring, I mean, I guess we can be open to that, but that didn't seem to be the situation. So, do either of our candidates have something to say regarding the office?
As I said, I'm Jan Mignoni. I was born and raised in the North and East. I've been here a long time. I've left for many years, but come back. And I have great respect for the city of Richmond and want to see things change. And, you know, just talking to these gentlemen, knowing that things are actually in a changing mood. I'm excited to start getting going and doing things here and doing things. I don't really have, I don't have an agenda per se, although I do believe in trees, but I think all of us believe in trees, you know, it's very important for us. I spent 10 years with Richmond Trees as their project manager, so I have a big, you know, big feel for trees. But I've spent many, many years, not just here in Richmond, but for 15 years, I lived in El Sobrani, and I was the president of the board of directors for running the, you know, $1 million corporation, or more than a multi-million-dollar kind of corporation. So I'm used to running boards and, you know, trying to get things done as fast as we can get them done, doing it correctly, though, and everything. But yeah, I've learned a lot about a lot of things. And so I'm willing to, you know, I listen to everybody, believe what they're, you know, want to do what is best for groups and the city of Richmond. That's kind of my whole feeling, is trying to make it good for all of us. I don't have any children here, so I'm not big into the sports part of it, like Samantha is, but I respect that. I mean, that's cool. When I was a kid, I did a lot of that stuff in the city, and now it's good to see kids out there doing things. So that's kind of my whole thing, is just really trying to move this forward, make it, make our meetings quick and organized, and, and if there's an issue, we try to all work together and get it done. I'm very good at doing that. That's what my job is in reality. And I work for the University of California press, and so I am the person who makes sure everything works. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Mignone. Okay. I hadn't heard you pronounce your name for a while, so thank you. All right, Commissioner Torres.
Hi, everyone. I'm Samantha Torres. I threw my name in the hat to be chair because I want to make sure that this commission continues. I have been involved in advocating for a commission to return on behalf of City Council. I've been getting involved with recruiting members to make sure we meet quorum. So this commission is important to me, and I feel like I've demonstrated some leadership in trying to reactivate our commission. Yes, I am heavily involved in youth sports, but this is an aspect that does need to be represented on this board. Not necessarily as chair, but it does need to be a voice that is represented. In the city of Richmond, particularly in the central core, we have a very dense youth population in the central Richmond, and park space is something that our youth absolutely need. I come from a public health background. I am transitioning careers at the moment. I'm getting my credential to become a science teacher, a high school biology teacher, and I'm currently a biology teacher at Richmond High. I'm also director and a board member of several youth soccer organizations here in the community. So I am familiar with a lot of the needs of our youth on and off the sports field as an educator. And I am very involved in parallel programs to the commission and other type of policy work, such as I was one of the key people involved in getting the West County Plays Initiative up and running. I've built relationships with WCCUSD, county supervisors, city staff, to help get programming for youth sports within Richmond. I'm also part of the Lucas Park Activation Project, so that's, yes, there's soccer involved, but there's also a lot of other programs and activities with that to be involved. So it is an honor to be able to serve on this commission, whether or not I'm serving as chair. I am here at the service of the community, and I do ask to be selected as chair. But again, I just want to be here, and I just want to make sure that the commission remains strong. So y'all have great choices between me and Jan. And I'm pleased to continue in whatever capacity possible. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm trying to remember, hopefully, that each person who has volunteered for a position understands about the Brown Act, understands about ethics when you are in a position as such. And I gotta say, the thing that I've always said is I'm on this commission because, one, I was requested by my community to step up because we needed someone there. And quite frankly, I just happened to have an open space. So I dedicated that for not only just the neighborhoods and the residents, but also the businesses and also the welfare of our natural resources around. So it's a lot to be considered, and I would hope that whoever it is that does get the vote will be balanced when it comes down to whatever it is that might be one's own, I don't know, affinity topic. But so far, so good. We seem to work reasonably well together. Make sense? Okay. Madam Hurlbut, do you have any particular directions for the vote?
Other than just raising hands and saying aye for one name and then the other. I think that's the simplest way, unless someone objects to doing that publicly. in which case we would have to write our ballots down and provide them to you. I think we're friends enough here that we can just like hold our hands up and say, who do we want, A or B?
Okay. All right.
Because we want them both. We just can't have two at the same time.
I'll stick around either way, so I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So, does anyone have any direct questions for these two candidates?
We're ready to go.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Geez, should have had things in the hat so we can pick which one first. So I'm feeling my
You want
pocket
me to
for a
do it?
coin.
I can do this, you know.
No. I mean, I can do it, but I was like, I usually keep a coin in my pocket. So anyway, all right. Eeny, meeny, miny, no. No, let's start with,
Here you go.
okay. All right. So make sure, okay, it's not a plug, it's not a hole. Okay, there is a head, there is a tail. Okay. So, all right.
I love
Call
my
it.
job. I love my job. I love my job.
Tail. Okay, so we go with you first. Thank you. We've heard from our candidates, and all in favor for Commissioner Mignoni, please signify by saying aye, raising your hand, whatever, something affirmative.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Great.
So we
Okay,
have
so
4? Did we see 4?
yes, there's 4.
Okay.
I'm
I'm just making a note.
yeah, I'm in the habit of letting others vote when I'm the chair because usually that breaks the tie. So, okay. So, all in favor for Commissioner Torres? Okay. All right. Well, good. Hey, I've actually had a time when somebody didn't vote for themselves. So, so good. All right. Well, it looks like
You have to vote.
chair doesn't have to vote. Not unless it's breaking the tie.
All right.
Yeah. So, okay. Looks like Chair Mignoni will begin shortly. Madam Maharaj, do we switch before
You
all?
would finish up all the election of
Okay.
all the offices and then you switch over.
Okay.
All right. For vice chair, we have 2 applicants. Samantha, if she wasn't convicted as chair, and Jennifer.
Okay.
So there are only 2 people that agree to be vice chair.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you. So, I'm not going to say Commissioner K-Sneeze. Please pronounce your last name for us.
It's Koscholnik.
Koscholnik.
Perfect.
Okay, Koscholnik. Gotcha. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So, Commissioner Koscholnik, do you have anything to say about your willingness to do this position?
Whether or not I'm actually chosen for this position, because I think Samantha is definitely more than qualified and has a lot of strength and ability to be in that role. I live in Richmond. I love Richmond.
Can you please use a mic? Thank you.
Sorry. I speak very loud anyway, so my bad. Oof. Anyways, I'm a resident of Richmond. I love it here. I want to see the parks thrive. And actually, I want to touch base with you gentlemen possibly later about some questions that I have when I was looking through your list, but not to get off track here. I'm really excited to be a part of this commission because I think that we can bring our parks back to life. I think with care, I think with support, and I also think with the drive to bring youth, and not just youth, but also parents, communities, celebrations, things that we can do, because parks are a space for everybody. And I think that that is the most important part, is that parks are inclusive. And I look forward. This is my second meeting, so forgive me. Thank you.
Thank you. So noted. Commissioner Torres?
Everything I said 5 minutes ago remains true. The only thing I will add is that in terms of, it's talking about secretary, right? Right, that's a, vice chair.
Vice Chair.
In terms of vice chair, I will support the chair in their absence and will step up and assist for presentation topics and looking over agendas. I take thorough notes of every meeting, so if there's, discussion or things that need to happen, I feel well prepared for that. But again, I'm here to serve on the commission in whatever capacity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for our candidates? Okay, no questions. All right, so since we're starting on ends now, all in favor for Commissioner, one more time?
Just say K, it's okay. Kostrolnik.
Kostrolnik, thank you. I have to see it. So Commissioner Kostrolnik for Vice Chair. All in favor, raise hand for aye. Okay, good. You voted for yourself. Very good.
I'm going to vote for Samantha. It's okay.
Oh,
Oh, I
goodness.
should have said that out loud.
Hey, well, you got one already. Oh, yeah, two. All right, so thank you for that. And we have vote for Commissioner Torres as Vice Chair.
Aye.
Okay. The ayes have it. Welcome, welcome back. Okay, up next is what, Secretary?
Secretary, there was only one person that kept their hat in the ring should she not be elected vice chair, and that is Commissioner Kay. So I don't think there's a vote necessary, but I don't know the rules per se on that. If there's only one candidate, do you have to do something specific?
As I understand, there doesn't have to be an opposition, but if someone is feeling antsy and wants to get their hat in the ring for secretary, seeing none, and just to cover our bases, is there any objection?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, then congratulations. Thank you.
And the only person who remains is the treasurer, and there was one name, and that is Commissioner Mike Warren.
Okay. Commissioner Warren. Anything you want to share?
I think I'm going unopposed, right? So
Well, yeah, but just give us a little confidence.
I am a project manager at work professionally. I keep track of budgets at work in my home life as well. I'm a Excel nerd, so I feel like I'm well suited for this role. Thank you.
Okay, then we will figure that you are an honest individual and that you have represented yourself clearly, and we appreciate your willingness to step up for this position. Thank you very much. Welcome. And
Can I clap?
yes, and with that, all right, so I think I will collect my belongings and relocate.
Effective immediately? Really?
I think so.
Yeah. No, no, just the chair. Yeah.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Go right ahead.
This has been a very, very educational experience being a chair on a commission for the city of Richmond. I have been chair of county commissions for union, labor, and a few others that I'm not going to bring out the brands. But it has been extremely rewarding, and I appreciate those who were on the ride with me to get the things done that we did and at least get projects started. So, yeah, I'm wishing you all the best, and if anyone wants to ask me any questions, reach out.
I'm sure we will. So the next item on our agenda is receive an update on request to reduce commission membership. I'm not sure whose that is.
That's me. Thank you. Congratulations to all the new offices. I don't have a whole lot of report on this based upon the issues we are having in recruiting for membership for this commission. This is supposed to be a 9-member body. And I don't know if you recall, the city council used to be a 9-member body until they changed the membership to 7 council members. However, this commission did not reduce their membership. And because we did not have enough members on this commission, we were unable to meet for almost over a year now. And so I had mentioned this to the prior chair, saying that when I was the liaison to the Commission on Aging some years ago, they had requested to reduce their membership because they were having similar issues. And one of the things that I had initiated was trying to start the staff report and take it to city council, but then at that time, the mayor's office stepped in and said it was their responsibility to do so. So as liaison to this commission, my responsibility is to work with the mayor's office to request a membership reduction for this commission as well. And I did make some contact with their chief of staff. I sent an email, and he agrees. This is Tony. And he agrees that this is a great move, and we have yet to connect. And so I will continue to work with him and see how quickly we can move this forward for this commission. And hopefully by the next time, I'll have some additional information. End of report.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or concerns?
Yes. I have a question. At the last meeting, I made the statement that unlike the city council, who gets paid a substantial salary for the work they do, we get paid nothing at all for the work we do. And to ask the commissioners here to take on more responsibility by having to be responsible and look over more parks every month is an egregious request. It's just unsustainable. We have a list of park areas, and to cover these park areas each month, to see what is needed and what is not needed, is a very difficult task as is. If we have less commissioners, we have more work to do for no pay. This, to me, is an unsustainable request. What I wish for is to not solve a symptom, which is that we don't meet the appropriate minimum number of people per meeting. What we should be doing is more actively recruiting more commissioners who care about our parks. Also, the fact that the symptom of meeting a quorum is a matter of semantics that has gone astray. To me, a more effective solution to the problem of not meeting a quorum is to change the definition of what a quorum is. And what I mean by that is by stating that we should have half plus one of the existing members on the commission rather than the maximum chair positions as the quorum. We have used that formula for 9 years before COVID happened. And all of a sudden, we have a quorum definition that is different from what we used for the previous 9 years. I don't actually understand why that was accepted without question, but apparently it was. And so my statement right now is I would rather simply change the definition of our quorum at this moment in time by changing our bylaws to say that a quorum exists when we have half plus one of the existing seated commissioners. Thank you.
I did request the clarification on quorum from the city clerk, and that was the definition she provided to me.
Where is that written? I would like to see that coming out of a bylaw, any kind of a legal statement, not a hearsay element.
It's not hearsay.
But an actual written city ordinance.
It's in the commissioners, the handbook for boards and commission members.
Okay, a handbook is a guideline. That is not a law. I suggest that, and I respectfully submit we have the right to change our bylaws to reflect my suggestion.
Any words?
So
from
I would
anyone
like to
else?
vote on that. I'd make a motion that we vote to change our bylaws to specifically state that our quorum is half plus one of the existing seated members of the commission.
Do I have a second on that?
I second that motion.
Do we have any discussion?
I don't agree with Commissioner Horvath's definition of a quorum. I think a quorum should reflect enough members on a body to be able to operate at a normal rhythm, a normal pace. And I also feel that if there is a need to reduce, because in this case what we're seeing is that we're just not meeting at all, that the definition of a quorum is what it is, and the Commissioner's Handbook has made it clear that those are the expectations of how this body's supposed to operate. So I put a lot of effort into getting the word out about our commission not meeting. There were consequences to the community for this commission not meeting, and so while I appreciate the sentiment that we should change the rules so that we're able to operate in the way that we want, we're just one of many commissions, and if that's what the handbook says, unless there's kind of like a major systemic shift, which there may need to be, there may be other commissions that are experiencing this, and if that's the case, then sure, we will follow along with suit. But given that there doesn't appear to be any momentum to actually change the handbook, we're asking for an exception to the rule. I can't agree with that at this time.
We have any other?
Yeah, can you remind me how much the reduction is being requested for? How many seats? 2.
7, I believe, to match city council seats.
Right, but yeah, it's
less.
yes,
Two
it's
seats less.
right, a reduction of 2 seats.
And we, just to remind the commissioners that we can't even cover the parks that we have right now. We don't have coverage because we don't have enough commissioners to support just looking at our parks every month. We just don't have the people here. So my concern about reducing our numbers is that, or reducing what we can do with the numbers we have, is that it puts an extra burden on the people who are here right now wanting to do a wonderful job for our city. And that's it. Thank you.
I understand your feelings, and I think where I am right now is that I believe all commissions are city ordinances. Aren't they written out? I mean, there is no bylaws for, at least not that I know about, for a commission. I mean, I believe it's.
No, we have bylaws.
We have bylaws?
Yeah, they're written down.
Oh.
Can we have, maybe this needs to be tabled right now, and we need to ask Ranjana to provide for us the actual current municipal code, bylaws, and our, the ordinance that is current for the city, all 3 items to be given to us all so we can prepare properly a conversation about this, which I am hearing that we're not prepared to do right now.
I can send that to you.
Yeah, I agree on that too. I think it's just, it's, like I said, it's been a while since I've been on a commission, so I have to start thinking in that aspect, not in using bylaws, which we use for neighborhood councils, and for that is what we go by. So I'm not really sure about that. I think tabling this at least until next month, and we have, give Rajana time to get all that information would be very helpful. Because it's been a while since I've looked at all these things. How does everybody feel with that?
Sounds reasonable to me. And if I may, I do understand Commissioner Hurlbut's passion about this. I, as well, did all but fill out applications for people. Okay, so it's challenging. Again, like I say, when I started, it was because they were saying, "Hey, we need you up there," and it happened to fit my time slot. I think I was very, very fortunate to have the opportunity to do this for as long as I have. And I will encourage anybody who cares about their city, give it a shot. You know, it might not be a perfect fit for everybody, but if you're in here and you see what good you can get done, many times you'll stick around for a little bit.
I mean, I totally agree. I mean, you think, I mean, how many parks are there in the city of Richmond? 50-something parks, somewhere.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Even with 9, even with a full 9, that's still not enough. Like 9,
Right.
7, we're not going to be able to take care of 11 each or however.
What I was kind of thinking was working with Jason, and we know there's some parks that they're not perfect, but they may be in the best shape that they're going to be in for a while. And they could be something, a park that we visit every 2 months instead of every month. Parks that are problem parks are the parks that we want to stay on. Because once you get off of them, you know, we all know what happens. But I mean, figuring out some way we can work this, and then even, you know, we get to 9, I mean, even with 9, it's you know, it's over 10 parks a person. And, you know, we've got to figure out some way that we can work that with the Parks and Landscaping, figuring out some way we can all work this, that do this to best, or they can come to us and say, hey, we've noticed an issue here that's repeating. Maybe you guys can go check it out, or something like that. We've figured I mean, there's to be a way around to get some of these things to work. But I think you know, if we can, like, one of the parks on there, on your list, you know, Berg Park, pretty much is in decent shape, except for it has a cracked slide that I've been told about like 3 times that I keep forgetting about. And it's because you know, I think it's one of the low slides too. I don't think it's a big slide. I think it's a little slide. But other than that, that park's in pretty good shape. But if you just walk through the park once, you can, you know, see what's going on. And I think that's what we have to do with those that are in better conditions, is to just keep an eye out, and then work from there. I think that might be our best bet as we still try to get more people involved.
I also wanted clarification on on 2 members of the commission who are termed out. So could you provide some clarification on what are the expectations for what, you know, how long will they continue, and what is the plan for their replacement, if there's any? What can we expect from that?
Based on the boards and commissions handbook, there is a resolution in there that says that until we get more members to continue adding to having a quorum, the terming out commissioners can continue to serve on the commission until we get new members. And I believe that the mayor continues to appoint commissioners as he gets applications. And I reach out to them often to see when we are getting somebody. And, you know, so if you could let other people know to apply, that would help us fill our positions quickly.
So the 2 termed out commissioners will remain until we have, so right now there's 6 7, 6 of us. So we
Four.
could,
So right now you are 4 because Commissioners Hulbert and Commissioners Smith, they will be terming out. They're already termed out based upon their expiration date of last month. And so they will continue to serve until we keep on adding new members.
so we need to have 9 members before.
Right now,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so unless we change the minimum number, we
Yeah.
need to have 9 total members, not including the termed out commissioners, before they will need to be termed out
Right.
officially. Okay.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Make sure I'm clear on this. I know that our seat count is 9. Are we going to backfill the vacants first or backfill those who are supposed to roll off? What is
Yeah.
the order?
I'm not sure of the order. I think I have to check in with the city clerk's office. They're the ones who provide the appointments as to who's filling in whose positions, but I believe they may fill out the vacant positions first. Since you're already here fulfilling the quorum need, I believe they will fill out the other positions first before they start filling out yours.
And if, let's say, we get 8 new members and there are 2 termed out commissioners, which one would stick around?
They, they both.
No, I mean, these are things.
No,
I'm just trying to understand how this works because, you know, I'm actually not expecting that we're gonna get a whole set of new commissioners anytime soon. So I'm glad, you know, y'all are still here. I'm just wondering because you know, we're talking about making quorum. I need to understand what that's gonna look like.
I am not sure how that works, but because I think they both have to exit at the same time. But if you have 8 members, you can easily get your majority on the seat. They all have to come to the meeting.
Yeah, in order to make quorum, we have to have 5. Have to have 5 present for the meeting. Probably it would likely, I mean, both Commissioner Holbert and I have the same date, and it looks like you have the same date too, Commissioner Torres, but I'm imagining that you have resubmitted an application?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but I've had several emails from city staff asking if I've been reappointed, and I'm like, I applied back in July, so
Yeah.
I don't know
can
what's going
follow
on.
up on that.
Yeah, I was like, that looks interesting, but, yeah, I maybe we would flip a coin. Who started first?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we're here, and we're here for the work. Much to the chagrin of a few people outside of this room.
If I may, through the chair, please. So related to this topic, I know that with UFAC, the Urban Forest Advisory Committee, when I first got here, we were experiencing kind of the same situation. Really hard to fill those seats, and they had no traction. They had there wasn't much happening, and it was sad because there was people that had the passion for trees, similar to your guys' passion, and it was a resource that was truly wasting on the vine. So myself and my staff, we really wanted to engage more with that resource because we need that, right? In our presentation tonight, it was introductory to kind of present ourselves to you. I didn't have an ask in there. I just didn't, right? But I do have a legitimate ask. We, the Parks Division, needs your guys' wisdom and knowledge and tie-in to the community. So, what can I do to receive that back, right? And it's not in a selfish manner. It's really in collaboration. With UFAC, we saw a need for them to be effective, right? Take action. And so since we onboarded, Alex and I, we had them go through the process of identifying, voting on a city tree. We have the coastal live oak is now Richmond's native tree. It's our tree. We added 40 trees to the master tree list. That was through their committee. We just had an extremely successful Arbor Day, and they were part of the collaboration that spearheaded that. So my goal is to not have our commissioners going around doing park inspections. We shouldn't have to have you guys do that. We want you guys on the front end of forward thinking, not doing our basics, right? Not doing our housekeeping for us. We want you looking at what can we do to expand? How can we better the parks? It's our job to get that baseline service up to par. So we're not looking at errors. We're looking at, where can we make this better? So that's my commitment to you guys. We're not there yet, but if we can make this the hottest seat in town, which I want to do, but honestly, we want to have meaningful topics that you guys are voting on, right? Taking action on, making recommendations to council, making recommendations to spend money where we make our improvements. So be patient. We're going to get there through this collaboration, and that's our commitment to you guys. Is we're going to have meaningful meetings that we're moving our parks and everything forward.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Superintendent. I was glad to hear that. Like I said, I was part of the beginning of UFAC, so I know how it went, and it finally got to the point I couldn't do it because of the day it was. It fell on the day when I had another meeting. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I'm just glad to hear there's more trees on the tree list. You have no idea on that one. But thank you so much, and I think we can all kind of start to maybe work together and figure out a way to really move this forward. So let's move on. Commissioner liaison reports. Commissioner Smith.
Okay. It seems to be a reoccurring theme. When it rains, Stewart Playlot has a whole bunch of wood chips floating. And it floats for as much as 3 days without rain. But the field does get a lot of use, adults and children alike. So that's my report specifically for right now. But I do have some other locations that I'm doing some follow-up on, so I want to see if it's in the same condition. Thank you.
Commissioner Albert.
Well, I did have the question about the electric lights going up, 2 electric lights going up at the plunge, just wanting to know where that came from. But my area is Point Richmond Parks, and everything looks pretty interesting. I mean, it's all going well. As you know, we take care of the plunge, the Hurlbut Park area around the plunge, and also the corner in front of Judge Carroll play lot or area, park area. And that all looks good. And we're very happy with the redo of the corner there. The only other thing I have to report is to make everyone aware that with the problem with SNAP funding on hold or going away or whatever's happening, the Youth Works area has now been stocked with $60,000 of food cards to be given away if people are qualified, and what qualifications are basically single family with children, any kind of special needs people, some elderly, and low-income people. So if you know of groups or people who just got told that their SNAP is gone, they may want to go visit YouthWorks and find out if they're qualified for that program. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Torres, or Vice Chair Torres, sorry.
Hi, so since last month, a couple of updates, or since our last special meeting, I guess it's been about a month. I try to film or record my, when I have my outings at the park. So for all of y'all watching at home, facebook.com/Coach Sam Torres. I try to put updates of all the local stuff happening in the parks, particularly Shields Reed. It's just so exciting. Like, you know, this has been years in the making, and it's just so exciting. Like last week, the big old light post went up. You know, so it's really cool to see how these parks are being built, you know, knowing what it looked like in the beginning. Shields Reed has always had a lot of use, but I remember like 2 years ago, my daughter was practicing on Shields Reed Field, and they were just complaining about mosquito bites, and it gets so dark. And so now, you know, seeing how the park is transforming, it's just really cool to like have seen that from the beginning to where we are now, and then where it's gonna get to. It's so exciting. So yeah, so I try to record and should give excitement about what's happening. So Shields Reed's looking great. Lucas Park is having a picnic and play event on Saturday from 11 to 2 as part of Urban Tilts Park activation. I will be there on behalf of the youth soccer organizations I represent. We'll have some activities. Well, there's also going to be skating and bike rodeo stuff. So there'll be a lot of fun for families to come and hang out at Lucas Park. Again, another example of how we've seen these parks transform and how the parks are transforming the communities. We see a lot more families out, a lot more kids out. People are excited, proud about Lucas Park, so excited to talk about, you know, how they didn't feel safe there a couple years ago, and now they're there every day. So it's really cool to see that. And hopefully it'll keep getting a lot of love, and we can fix the lights at the basketball court. And I know Urban Tilt is looking for like parks remodel plans and stuff like that, so that'll be cool. A couple of updates on the Kennedy High issues I was mentioning last time. The district announced a change in allocation policies. So this has been to address these year-long issues that the community and myself have been addressing. So ideally now, residents will have priority to our own facilities as opposed to having to compete with outside organizations from Berkeley. Which is silly that we've even had to say that, but that's what we've been dealing with for the past 2 years. And so the process is new. As of October 30th, there's a new process for it, and so we'll see how it goes for youth sports and youth wellness programs who have been excluded from a lot of these local facilities. And lastly, tonight is my 14th wedding anniversary with my husband. And so I'm here. I mean, we're married 14 years. It's okay that I'm here. We can celebrate another night. But I just wanted to share that a lot of us have to make sacrifices to be on this committee. And so I'm grateful to all of you and to my family and to my husband for supporting, you know, my call to public service. And all of you, I know we all have to make sacrifices to be here. And I'm hoping that this commission can continue to support families, mothers, immigrants, people whose English is not their first language, to be able to serve on these commissions. And I'm glad to be representing those families from Richmond who have young children, who come from diverse backgrounds. And I'm glad to be here, even if it comes at a cost to my family. So thank you all for the sacrifices you make to represent our community. And that's it.
Thank you, thank you. 14 years, I know. I
Congratulations.
don't look like I've been married 14 years, I know. We got married when I was 10.
That's what you tell them.
Yeah.
Commissioner Kostolnik?
See? Yes.
Do you have it? You have anything to report?
I got nothing right now. Thank you.
Don't feel bad. I haven't even looked at the park. I take that back. I look at the park every day because I drive right past it. Commissioner Warren, do you have any updates?
Thank you. I live right next to Tiller Park, and it's having a moment right now. And I just want to say thank you for the cleanup efforts. A lot of the underbrush has been cut away, so visibility is really high there, which is really nice. I walk my dog there. It feels good to be there at night, so thank you. I did take a chance to go by Humboldt Park, which is right by the highway, and I know that unhoused are a problem. They have partially taken over that park, and it's just in a condition where I don't think anyone wants to go there. So I think that might need a little attention. I really like this magazine I got at our special meeting. Rajna gave this to me. I noticed some errors in it when I was going through my parks. How do I address that? Do I come talk to you privately, or what does that look like?
Just email us.
Okay.
Email me.
Okay. One of the things I noticed on here that we didn't have, and this goes with soccer fields or any of our other fields, is there's no water fountains. And I don't know if that's true at all the sports fields. Tiller Park has, the aim is to have that field used more for soccer and baseball, right? Tennis as well. There's no hydration there. That goes for dogs too. A lot of people bring their dogs there. So I've seen water fountains that, the spill off goes for dogs as well. Just a thought to have.
May I? I attempted to address that, but we have different people who are at the lead now. So I'm going to try again, okay? And hopefully we'll be able to address that issue, because we have had half the room filled up behind them not having a fountain. And the fountain that I was able to provide was put somewhere else. And one last thing, I forgot to include this. The median on McDonald looks awesome up by the shopping area and whatnot. I've been taking pictures of the vegetation there and trying to figure out, I think I've figured out some of the plants, and I'm trying to figure out what type of crushed rock or whatever that is, because I'm thinking about putting that in the little median between my sidewalk and my curb, because the cats seem to like bare dirt. So maybe I'll talk with you all a little later just to get some confirmation. Thank you.
We can absolutely provide you with the plants that we put in there. And that was a beta testing for us. Typically, it's been historic that everyone wants to put in natives. So our beta testing is more climate adaptive plants. So that they're a little bit more adapted to arid areas. And we did the little pork chop over on 23rd. Also, if you've gone that way, we did it with the same planting recently also, and it looks just as good. I mean, that ground material, it's decomposed granite, just FYI. If I could, we are absolutely will make an effort. We understand that having water available in our facilities and our parks is critical. It is challenging because in our larger parks, the water system that enters into the park is our irrigation system. Once it goes into our irrigation system, it's non-potable, right? And so it's not quality water to drink. And so a service from East Bay Mud even for a 2-inch service, we're looking upwards of $60,000. So it's a challenge, but we're going to absolutely look for resources, and we know that there's an issue of having water available in our park. So we're aware of it, and we'll look for any grants or low-hanging fruit or anything that we could possibly do to include those.
And that's really good to hear, because it's always been interesting. You go to the park, oh, there's a water fountain. Doesn't work, but there's a water fountain. Yeah, or they dribble. That's my favorite. It's just a little dribble. It's coming out. You know, like,
Sorry, I have a follow-up question. Where does the $60,000 come from? I don't quite understand how a 2-inch line can cost that. I'm just curious where that comes from.
So if you think about the infrastructure, like the dynamics of an infrastructure, if we have a water supply, and some of our water supplies to our larger parks are 2.5, 3-inch water services, and that water service goes all the way back to the force main that's typically in the middle of the road. And so that's not our infrastructure. We're not the water purveyor for Richmond. It's East Bay Mud. So if we said, hey, East Bay Mud, we want for you to open this road up, tap into that line, and run a 2-inch line, which is dedicated domestic for our drinking fountains, they'll say absolutely sure. You're going to pay actual cost, time, and material plus the service, and that equates to, for them doing that work, that equates to tens of thousands of dollars.
Thank you.
yeah, and paving won't like you very much either, because that messes up the roads. Because East Bay Mud do not fix roads back after they've torn them up. Believe me.
Well, hold on now.
Okay.
It it depends on the agreement between East Bay Mud and the city. Sometimes, if the city has something scheduled, we may have to jog you around how to do that. But trust me, we have folks who really want to just go ahead and pave it, but agreements have been made with whichever city. So we don't like the look. We don't like to leave it looking like that. So let me know if there's an area that's particularly in your craw, and I'll find out if it's a city commitment or what.
Well, we had I believe, well, maybe no, it was PG&E. Maybe it was PG&E that came out and did it. 30th Street between Roosevelt and Clinton, they came out and put in new gas lines. Of course, they did this in the middle of winter, so they weren't liked a whole lot anyway. And when they came, and so now it's the dumpity dump, boopity boopity, all the way up, all the way for that entire block. And I talked with Carlos Castro, and he said they told him that's the best they can do. And I was just like, I'm not. I'll find some other thing. But I have spent time talking with Public Works, saying, we really need to make sure that so-and-so's doing a job, then it's not going to tear up, be organized when we do it. I mean, sometimes you don't have a choice, but, you're just like trying to figure out how to make it work. Yes, I understand that. But yes.
Can I borrow you from time to time, because folks don't seem to think that I'm telling them what's true. They think I'm just giving speaking points, but you hit it right on the head.
Well, I'd like to go ahead and call our meeting for this evening. It is 8:12, and we will see everyone. Meeting is adjourned. See you all next month. I'm not very good with those.
That's hers.